everybody, it's your girl Ashley, the amateur expert, coming to you live on Friday. Asking for a Friend Fridays is in full effect today, and I will be talking to Makayla of the Mindful Woman Tribe. She is going to answer some questions for my friend. So I'm excited that she's in the room, so let's get started. Hey everybody, thank you for joining. Happy Friday. Hey Tom. Hello Makayla, how are you?
Hey, beauty. Good. How
Hi,
are you?
I'm
Hey,
good, thank
everyone.
you. So, Makayla, I have started a new segment on the podcast, and it is called
I love
Asking for a Friend Friday. And so I thought it would be appropriate to have you on today because she has been asking me this question, and I was like, you know what? I've got someone to ask. So, Makayla, she wants to know, is manifestation really a thing?
manifestation is beyond a real thing. Um, and I know this because I'm on Mindful Woman Tribe IG, but Manifest Peace is literally my business name. Dying warning. But it's not gonna die. I'm just gonna go over here just in case.
It's okay, we're manifesting that it's going to last.
Yeah, it totally is. But literally, I manifested peace. Manifestation is completely real.
Okay, so how does one begin that process? Or what is manifestation? And then how does one, what are some ways that people can manifest things?
What does manifestation mean is actually the first question.
Yeah, what is it?
You tell me.
No, ma'am, I'm asking for a friend, so you've got to answer. You are the resident expert of this.
Okay, I like that. So manifestation, it's not a magic. Like that's the thing. A lot of people talk about manifestation like it's some kind of a magic, but it's not whatsoever. It's literally a science, and it's something that your mind does.
Hmm.
So the first step to being able to manifest anything in your life is understanding the subconscious mind. Our subconscious mind, it's the part of the mind that's like not fully aware, right?
Okay.
It's completely unconscious. Well, we're not completely unconscious of it, but we are pretty unconscious of it.
Okay.
So when we start to understand that first, we can actually begin to realize the things that we really want in life. And then they become evident. And that's literally what manifestation is. It's a demonstration of your own thoughts coming into like fruition.
That's deep. Like, I feel like we need snaps on that.
Thanks, thanks.
Okay, so how should I tell her to begin her manifestation journey?
So there's a few ways to begin your manifestation journey. Like I said, it's understanding the subconscious mind, right? But the thing is that you don't have to. A lot of times people begin manifesting things like unintentionally.
Tell me what you mean
So
by that.
what is it?
Tell me what you mean when you say that.
So a lot of times when we don't really understand our subconscious, but we start to release a lot of the conditioned thoughts. Hey, Tiff. But we start to release a lot of the conditioned thoughts that we have. We end up unintentionally manifesting because our thoughts are like good, whatever good it means to you. Your thoughts are in a really good place. And from that, it just kind of like, again, goes into fruition. But it's like unconscious. So you might hear people saying something like, oh my gosh, I had no idea this was going to happen like that. Whoa, I can't believe this, right?
Yeah.
That's just the fact of your subconscious is reprogramming. You've retrained your subconscious unknowingly.
Got it.
And
So,
then those things came into fruition. Yeah.
so what are some ways that you can do this consciously?
Hi, darling. Hey. Oh, I was talking to Daria, but hi everyone else too. So that's that's like unintentional manifestation. So then
Yep.
intentional manifestation is a little bit harder.
Okay.
Because that goes into, people think that they can literally just write it down in a manifestation jar, which really, I'm not like, I really do that. Thanks for that tip, Ashlee.
You're welcome.
But you have to actually take the things that you're writing down and like reprogram the conditioned thought. So now instead of it happening unconsciously, you're doing it, you have to consciously do it. If you want to manifest something, that's the very first step. So that would be identifying like literally a negative thought, or identifying a conditioned thought that replays in our mind, or like a pattern or something.
Okay.
Releasing it would be the second step. Recreating and redefining those negative thoughts. So now you're going to be rewriting your whole fucking story. Sorry, I don't mean to swear. I'm just like super passionate.
I understand.
Literally. I about like life. But then you're going to just like erase it and throw it away. All the bullshit. Like you have to be willing and ready to get rid of that. And then comes the step of being able to really set things in play the way you want to set them in place. Because again, it's your own thoughts are creating the things in your life. And so that's like the gist.
And so is that a process that happens like overnight? Like I can just do those 4.5 or so steps and be like, all right, I'm ready now. Let me start writing things in my manifestation jar, or let me start journaling, or how, like, what does that process look like? Or what does that process look like for you? Because I'm certain it's going to look different for everybody, but what just sort of what example can you give us?
Yeah, it does happen for everyone differently. Working with like, I have 4 main clients, right, who are part of my 6 month, and I see them all manifesting things very differently at very different times.
Wow. Okay.
As I had one client and she had one session with me, and her thought process began really like just changing very quickly, or maybe like 2 sessions, changing very quickly. She really like set into play a lot of the things. So I do like a vision statement, right?
Okay.
And so we did her vision statement, and her vision statement was like this, that, and the other thing. And after writing it, it was like a week or so after it, she was like, whoa, I'm really seeing this come into play in my life.
That's so cool.
A lot of times we'll see it happening more with like an actual feeling, like maybe we're feeling more peaceful, or we're feeling happier. And so it happens at all different times. And then another client, like it took her, she had a specific thing she wanted to work on, like a relationship thing. And I talked to her the other day, and we actually don't work together anymore. So she like completed everything. Like that's what it was. But I
a
talked to
positive
her.
ending.
Yeah, it was
Oh,
positive.
I was like, oh
But
dear.
it wasn't anything bad.
Okay.
But
Okay.
I talked to her the other day, and she's like, oh my gosh, this relationship has taken off. Like it was a relationship with her mom, and it was like super negative and so on and so forth. And she didn't like it. She shifted those thoughts, shifted her perspective on it. And now she's manifesting the relationship that she wants in her life.
That's so good. So I feel like there's 2 key important factors. So one, it's the awareness and acceptance of the thoughts, but then also the willingness to combat them every single time the negative thoughts come up, and to like show up for yourself, for your vision statement, or for the things that you are looking to manifest. So, what are some tips beyond the vision statement, which I think is really good, that you can share with us?
I have to say the very first thing is literally sitting down and journaling. Like journaling, I know.
My friend's not gonna want to hear that.
I know, Tiara, I'm sorry, but that's literally it.
No, Tiara's actually a journaler. The other friend.
Oh, your other friend. Okay, well, I'm sorry, but that's just it. I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry at all. Journaling is honestly one of the main steps. Journaling, affirmations, but using them in the right way. You have to use these things in the right way. So like when you're journaling, you want to take it and like I start identifying negative thoughts. So one thing you could do is actually I named my inner critic. Her
Hmm.
name's Erin. So
Oof,
to be able to,
Sharon.
yeah, to be able to separate, hey, to be able to separate all of those negative thoughts that are like manifesting those negative things, right? So
Right, right,
then you
right.
can say, okay, cool. That's that's that part of me. But I want to like rewrite. So you have to figure out what you need to do to rewrite. Step one, identification. Step two is going to be you're going to want to,
It's
don't
not
you
you,
call me?
Brianna.
Oh, I didn't even see that.
No, ma'am. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
You're fine. You're fine. Step two, now that you've identified, or you know what? I'm going to use what we did in our retreat. So first you want to activate, which is identify. Then you want to access whatever you need to access, those resources, and be able to like, my name is Monica.
Her inner critic's name is Monica.
Oh, yes. Name that inner critic, girl, and like keep it forever. Tell her to shut the hell up when she starts talking. I do
Listen, you gotta put
all
him in
the
check.
time.
Got it. I like that. Call her out
You
or
have to
him out.
call her out or him out. Yeah. But
I
then the
like that.
second step would be like accessing that inner critic or accessing the power to recreate. So that would be like affirmations, right? Like using affirmations to your benefit to be
Okay.
able to reshift the perspective. And then your third step is literally going to be creating, being able to take those things and like now you're going to want to journal. You're going to want to like journal what you really want. Journal, like tune into your future self. What does future Makayla want? 1,200,000 million quadrillion dollars.
I
And
like
like,
it.
definitely, I don't know. Like, I want everything. Like,
And
my
it's gonna
manifestation
happen.
list is long as hell, guys. One thing actually that has manifested in my life and has been created is Mindful Woman Tribe. We had the first retreat. Shout out to Tiff. Shout out to True Peace Wellness. So that
Yes.
was something that manifested in my life. Honestly, just like a little bit about my story. So I was literally homeless like 2 years ago.
Wow.
And then about a year and a half ago, maybe it was like 3 years ago now. Ooh, time flies by. And then
Baby.
about a year and a half ago, I was, or about a year ago, I got out of this super toxic relationship. And that was just kind of like, okay, I'm not homeless anymore. That's good. But now I'm just like, I'm homeless. I'm homeless in my mind, basically.
Wow.
And so I got to the point where it was like, okay, whatever. And then after the breakup, obviously, there's the whole depressive, crying, eating ice cream thing that happens to the best of us.
Baby.
But then I picked my shit up and I was like, okay, I did those steps. Step one, I identified, I accessed, I used affirmations and all different other tech tools. And then I was able to create. But with that, so now I'm at the point where I'm actually able to manifest things in my life intentionally. You never
Mm.
know when things are going to actually manifest for you. I'm not God. I'm not the universe. I have no idea. So it's just being able to really sit and trust the process of it. But it's the fact that I know that I'm putting out these
Hmm.
good thoughts. So the momentum with that is so good. It's going to only attract
That's so
like
good. So can you tell us
amazing things for me.
about your just a journey for the retreat? So it came to you in a dream, and then you were able to collaborate with this one, and like just sort of show
Yeah.
us manifestation in real life.
Okay. So I kind of started the story. It was a sob story and it was bad, right? It was no good.
We
Well,
can we can fast forward that part.
it was no good for me. But then after that, being able to like, I'm gonna tell you guys, really manifestation. It was a lot of shit. It was a lot of releasing and a lot of resistance that I had that came with that.
Mm.
And then now fast forwarding to this after that, and I did my journaling, my affirmations, my self work. Like I just have to stress that manifestation doesn't just happen. So now we're the fun part. now I'm at the part where I literally had like a dream one day. And this is our Tiffany and I's favorite story ever. I had like a dream and I'm like, okay, I'm not going to do this. I don't need to do this. This isn't like I put the idea out of my head as literally just a dream.
What was the
And
dream?
it was a dream of the retreat. Sorry.
Okay,
It was a
it's okay.
dream of a retreat, having
Okay,
a collective of women really come together to create something beautiful,
okay.
amazing, and it being like exactly what it was, a tribe. So I threw that out of my head. I like pushed it off to the side, and then it was crazy. Me and Tiffany ended up going on to something, a platform together. Um, and from that, I was just kind of like inspired to keep creating. So I'm like, okay, the universe obviously wants me to do this. And that's another thing. When manifestation happens in the right way, you'll know it. Like you'll know that it's supposed to happen for you. Um, and so then I called Tiffany up and I'm like, I need a yogi to work with me on this and like be part of this retreat. She's like, okay, cool. But I have the same ideas in my notebook. I'm like jotting it all down in my notebook. And I'm like, oh my God, this is so cool. This is perfect. So she said, truth, literally the truth. So we ended up literally just going and doing this together. We're like, let's just partner on this and do it. And so 3 weeks later, we brought you the Mindful Woman Tribe Retreat. I'm releasing heavy things with technical difficulties, but it all ran smoothly at the same time. So that in itself is just manifestation. So just in the last 3 years alone, I can tell you, like I've watched my pattern and just the things that have manifested in my life since then up to this very moment here and right now
Yeah.
is amazing. Oh, you're so cute.
She
Thanks, you're a
is super
gem.
dope.
You're a
Um,
gem.
and you guys invited me to be a part of it, and I was, whew, I didn't think that I was ready, but apparently I was. And even how we connected was um, a godsend because I didn't even know that the feature, how that feature worked on Happen. We were
So
at a wellness retreat, a
mhm.
virtual wellness retreat, and just randomly got linked together. Um,
Literally.
and then we just decided to take the conversation offline, and it's just sort of took off
It,
from there. So I'm happy that we're
so
here doing it.
that right there is unintentional manifestation.
Aha.
All of it. See, that's unintentional manifestation. You know, your subconscious, your conscious might not have everything mapped out and planned, you know, like a lot of us don't. But your subconscious is really beginning to reprogram, retrain, and map things out for yourself. And so it just has to come up to the conscious, but it is still happening and coming into fruition, like right there. Because even like you're like, I wasn't ready for this, but it was actually really dope and amazing. So yeah,
Well,
that's it.
thank you. So we
You're
talked
welcome.
about um, changing your thoughts and being more mindful about things and redirecting and repurposing them. We've talked about journaling. What are some other ways that we can, in the manifestation jar, of course, what are some other things and tools that we can use to bring about manifestation?
Um, so those are my main goodies right there. But there's a few different ways. So like there's vision boarding. Vision boarding is really, really, really the like more amazing than anybody would know. You can literally put so I'm going to explain my vision boarding, right? Because everyone doesn't do it in the same way, which I learned this weekend.
Okay.
So when I vision board, I grab my magazines first, leave my poster board to the side and all that good stuff. I grab my magazines first. I
Okay.
swipe through my magazines, like do a quick look see and rip what the mind wants it, what my eye wants it to rip. Like whatever calls
Mm,
out to me first, because a lot of times when something calls to us immediately, which I know we've all heard this, when something calls to us immediately, that's exactly what we want inside. Like
right,
that's what we
right.
desire.
That's good.
Is that desire always good or like good for us? Maybe not, maybe not. But most of the time, if you're on the right path, you're
Yep.
going to attract the right things. So I go and I go and I rip the page that reaches out to me the most, letting my subconscious really take control in that matter.
Okay.
And then I go ahead and I actually look through everything and then paste it on the board.
Okay, yeah, I sort of vision board the same way, but I know people who are very specific and I want this and I want this, and so I'm looking for a picture of a this, or I'm looking for, and so I sort of do a hybrid of the two because there are some things that I know for sure that I want to manifest in my
Right.
life, and then there's some things that my eye is just drawn to, whether visually or something that's like a source of inspiration, and I'm like, ah, yeah, I want that, or
Right.
I like that.
Yeah.
Um, and so I've been vision boarding, I think, for my whole entire life. Like my whole walls would just be cool sayings, or I mean, mostly the Spice Girls when I was like 10. But my walls just would be covered with things, just I think as a source of inspiration. And I don't think I knew it was vision boarding at the time, but I definitely knew it was visually stimulating myself to be inspired or encourage or just even to set my space to be in a space that made me comfortable or felt just like aesthetically pleasing.
Mm-hmm.
And so I can say for sure that I have manifested things on vision boards. And if I have an 8.5 by 11 or even bigger, I don't always manifest all of the things on the vision board, but I try to do one every year. And there are some times where something I've done on put on a vision board like 4 years ago will come back up and I'm like, wait a minute,
Exactly.
I feel like I did this, or I feel like this was a
Yep.
part of something that I've done
Yep.
already. And so that's very key when you said that we put it out into the universe and we ask God for it, but it's literally when they want us to have it is when it comes to us.
Mm-hmm. It is. It's the subconscious, but it's also momentum. So when we put our minds to something, so like when we're flipping through, right, and the subconscious says, okay, this is inspiring to me. That's again, our subconscious has mapped it out and it's just not conscious to us yet. But that's
Right.
also because we're not completely ready for it. We're not at that point in our lives yet.
Right.
But when we do get to that point and we notice like this is something that I want and we put it in front of our faces, we allow it to really like we pick up that momentum. It's a momentum thing. That's how the law of attraction literally works. When we
Yeah.
find something that we want and it goes quick, and then we're able to like get to this point, or I just said that all wrong. I twisted in my mind a little bit. Um, but we
Rewind.
pick up, yeah, let me rewind real quick. So we pick up that momentum, and then it's like the things just start really like drawing to us. So for instance, I was just on the phone with someone, I think she might be in here, and she was talking about a book, right? So
Okay.
someone told her about this book about a week ago or 3 weeks ago. And then it started like just sticking in her mind. Then it popped up on Instagram. And then again, it's in her mind. It's like heavy in her mind. And then boom, I told her about the book again. Then she's like, I got to buy it. So when we have something that comes to play in our minds and we really
Yeah.
set our minds to it, the momentum picks up and then we end up attracting it. It really becomes like the attraction is just so strong. The pull is there. And that's literally that's how manifestation really works.
And two, I think a part of it is you're paying attention to it now, right?
Right. It's
But
evident. Yes.
yeah, because there are times like I remember when I was younger, my mom would say, "Oh, she was obsessed with Volvos, N90, S95. I don't know, a specific model of Volvos." And then I remember when we went to go look for one, and then everywhere on the street we would see that car. Before, I'm sure those same people were driving up the same street, but we just weren't paying attention
Not
to
paying
it. And
attention.
so I
Yeah.
think what we, like you said, what we bring to the forefront of our brain, and then also to what we pay attention to are things. Um,
You're so sweet.
yes,
Thank you.
are things that come into our lives. I'll say.
Yeah, exactly. When things become evident, and it's just really being able to understand that the perspective shift is really important so that we can make the right things evident to ourselves, the things that are really healthy for us.
Yeah.
that's important. But that's exactly it. Just things become evident.
So one thing that I want to sort of bring our attention back to is this idea of journaling as it relates to manifestation.
Ooh. That's my
So
favorite topic in the entire world. I'm gonna grab my journal and like show you guys my like first real journal that I started, and it's gonna be like so funny.
my question comes from a place of so the vision board, you can take, a day, a couple weeks or so, however long it takes you, but you get it, you assemble it, and then it's just sort of there. You look at it and you are like trying to manifest the things, or, like it reminds you of what you're working towards. So anytime that you feel like, you're down, like it may be a source of inspiration or just something that, but it's set it and forget it. You do it, it's done, it's there, right?
Right.
Manifestation jar. Something comes to your mind, you jot it down. This is what I want. Boom, bam, you put it in a jar, and it's sort of a set it and forget it thing. Journaling seems to be a thing that is um, more labor intensive, maybe I can say. Something that has to be done on a more consistent basis.
Mm-hmm.
And so I wonder if we can just talk about
So
why you're
journaling.
why you love it so much.
So I really always loved to write, but I did not like to journal. Like I couldn't journal. I just started journaling. So this is my very first journal in the last. This is not my first journal, but this is my first actual completed journal.
Okay.
It's completed, and it's all set in stone with all my journaling of adventures, right? It took me about 3 to 4 months to fill this. Like
That whole thing?
I write all the time. It's
Oh,
so therapeutic. Yeah. And so journaling is not, it seems strenuous to a lot of people.
yes.
And
Yes, it does.
it's literally more of a task for
Yes.
people
Yes.
rather than a hobby. Like for
Mm.
me, it was always a task. I'm like, oh my gosh, I have to sit down and do this. But that's because one, we're conditioned for that in school, like when
Mm.
that's also one conditioned, but
Okay.
it's
That's a good thought.
also a lot of it goes into when you sit down and you really start to journal, even if you sit down with an actual journaling prompt, you actually have to sit and think.
Yep.
You have to sit and think, and you have to sit and think, and like you're starting to really like bring a lot of those subconscious things up into your conscious mind, and people don't like that.
Hmm.
Nobody really likes that because it's a lot. A
Mm-hmm.
lot of things that are in our subconscious are like it's trauma. It can be traumatic. They're
Right? Yeah.
memories. They're things that we don't want to face. They're things that might be wrong with us that we don't want to change, so to speak. And when you journal, you really start to get all that moving. And so that's why I believe personally journaling is so, 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 so important when you're going to manifest something. If you want to intentionally manifest things in your life.
Okay.
If you don't care about intentionally manifesting, then do your thing, But if you want to begin intentionally manifesting, you have to sit down. One, allow yourself to go into a meditative state, whether it's a guided meditation or whatever it may be. But then after that, you want to sit down and really write down like what was on your mind. Get it on paper, see
Mm-hmm.
it, and allow those wheels to begin moving so that they can come into your conscious so that you can identify, access, and then create. In that way. Did that answer your question kind of?
Yes. Okay, I have another one.
You look super
So,
confused. I'm like, I don't know. Was that
no, that
really
was
super confusing?
really really good. That was
Okay.
really really good. And you've touched on a lot of points. And so,
It was
how did journaling stop feeling like a task for you?
I That's such a good question.
Thank you.
That really has me stumped a little bit.
Uh-oh, we may have to journal about it.
I really do. No, journaling. Oh, thanks, Bree. Yeah, guys, I'll be starting group meditation soon, so
Nice.
I'll join. Um, but it's like just literally now it's so natural. It's such a hobby. How did it all become like not be a task anymore? Really is the question. I think it literally just became a lifestyle. Um, it just became like my very own lifestyle. Journaling, like it all became a lifestyle once my business name is Manifest Peace, and that's literally what I was able to manifest, inner peace. And with that, then I was able to actually like sit with my thoughts, and
Mm,
it's like I wanted to journal because I wanted to find out like what was going on in my head, what was going on in my mind, like how could I get the things that I really wanted. How
that's
could I
good.
stop letting that fear, which is totally an illusion? If Daria is still on here, fear is an illusion. How could I let that fear, how could I stop letting that fear control me? And like journaling is the number one way to figure that out. So it was like once I actually sat down with myself and I allowed myself to be still and
Mm-hmm.
actually told myself, I want to know what you're thinking. I want to communicate with you,
Mm,
then it was like so much easier for me. It just I surrendered basically to the journal. It's like that, the perfect word that I just used. It's the communication. Like I allowed myself to start communicating with myself.
that is good. That's good. I'm
Thanks.
I'm
Thanks.
gonna
That was
take
a
this
good
info.
question.
I'm
That
gonna
was
take
really
all this information back to my friend. She's gonna find it so useful.
cool.
I want to thank you so much for being on the show and answering all the questions that were asked to you. I also want to give you the opportunity now to share any upcoming retreats or your anything that you have to offer us and how we can follow you and how we can keep up with what you're doing.
Okay. So you can follow me on Manifest Peace, Instagram, manifest_peace. Manifest. I'm like can't multitask, guys.
It's
So
okay.
that's honestly sometimes my mind goes a little like brain because I can't multitask. But so you can go to Manifest Peace and follow me. That's my personal business page. I kind of use it as both now.
Okay.
But then also Mindful Woman Tribe, which is a brand new retreat and group. It's a lot that's going to be coming out. Mindful Women Tribe definitely has another retreat coming out.
Love
So
it.
be on the lookout for that and all the other amazing things that are about to happen. And me personally, I am going to be doing a journey through journaling. So that begins next week or maybe the week after, I believe. So there are about 5 to 6 slots open. So go ahead and register.
Oh, is there a link
Register
in
for
your bio?
that. The link is in my bio. Yep.
Okay,
The link's in
very
my
good.
bio. Um, and check that out because it's going to be great because we can literally complete and you can complete your entire journey just simply through like journaling. I'm not kidding. You think I'm lying, but I'm not. I'm like a really bad liar.
I want to believe you. I do. And I think that through
I
your
can see it. I can see it.
and
I
through
do.
your through this experience that you're going to be taking us on, I'm certain that we'll be able to uh, prove to me that it's the truth. So thank you again for being
Totally.
on. This was great. And yeah,
Yay. Thanks, Ashley, for having me. You're such
my
a
pleasure.
sweet. And like that's why you know a little bit about a lot because you keep having everyone on and like learning like little tidbits of information here
That's
and
it.
there.
You
So like
found the secret.
amateur expert is really like an expert, guys.
You got
So
it. No,
thanks.
amateur, but thank you.
Okay. Okay.
All right, guys, have a great weekend.
Okay. Bye. Have a good weekend.